Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Hunters of Justice, where I, Tracy, is gonna be your host, alongside with trestwho in the background.
It
Let me
says
see.
Heroes of Justice here on your little title thing, but you know, Hunters of Justice is probably a better title, which does fit the little poster there. So we got two different titles.
Oh my god, you are right. That is a mistake, by the way. It should be Hunters of Justice, because that is the title, not Heroes of Justice. It has been here for a long time now, and no one noticed, even me.
It got long enough that I thought that really was the title, but then I took a closer look at your little poster. Like, at first I was thinking, you know what, that's a better name for it, but that actually is the name.
Well, we are off to a great start.
And we recorded too, so that's fantastic.
It is a picture, so you know what? Let me fix it live.
Cool beans. What else starts with an H?
If I can actually find it. Come on, Heroes of Justice. That's what I need. And let's go for.
Sorry, folks, they're no longer heroes. I know you're disappointed.
There you go. But
Now
now,
they have to find out what the justice is because they're hunting for it.
I need to move the sentiment back. So now it is more centered.
Because the text is a bit different size. Makes sense.
And let's save and let's overwrite what we had. There we go.
I think I mentioned last time. I do think the hunter character is gonna stick with the Teen Titans longer because they kind of run about that same level, and they've already done about 2 missions now with them.
And let me fix this as well.
Brother Blood might be causing some problems soon.
There you go. Now they are hunters. Oh. There you go. Now it should be fixed. It's not fixed on YouTube, but well, I can do everything on my own. But now you are truly hunters. I mean, they really are not hunters yet. They are just trainee hunters, and they won't be able to get their license anymore because Remnant is no more.
That's still fitting. I would also call them trainee heroes. And the Titans are kind of around that league too.
Yeah?
Like a bunch of sidekicks that went off and did their own thing and gradually grew up on their own right.
Okay.
So we got something from back in 2019. February, March, April 28th.
Yeah? And then there'll be some trials and tribulations, which is still fun because that's name of a Eastern game as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming Momo is gonna be on trial, but it could even be the hunters as well. I don't think they actually have the license to do hero job. Yes.
I don't think that's an issue. The cops just let them do the thing because they can't handle some of the problems here. What I actually think is happening is not a trial, but I think Mumbo will be in the hospital.
Oh yeah. And we know that Mr. Blood is looking out for Raven, who is in dismay at the moment.
You know, it does look like Brother Blood wasn't planning everything, every detail of the results that occurred. Instead of that, what he seems to be doing is attempting to examine the situation and spinning it to his advantage,
Yeah,
as best he can tell.
he had not expected the hunters, but he has been
Right.
expecting Momo to lose. I assume that.
Yes, but he probably wouldn't have mind too much of Mumbo one, except for one problem. He should have an issue with Raven going down.
Yeah, but he knew that Haven won't go down that easily. But yeah, let's see where the trials and tribulations are leading us.
So let's get some order in the court.
Oh
and
no, in the
proceed
court!
on.
Chapter 13 Trials and Tribulations. It had been a few days since Momo was admitted to the hospital. As Haven had said, he admittedly overdosed on medical energy. Hopefully he is not gonna be addicted to it anymore.
So my prediction came true right in the first sentence here.
Yeah, he is in the hospital. He was expected to make a full recovery, but that provided neither him nor the house team of much comfort.
Okay, because the doctors are so well versed with magical overdosing, right?
I mean, there
You know
might be
what?
some
Maybe
medical
by
doctor.
now, maybe by now there is, because you got plenty of characters starting to wield magic across the world. It would not make. I wouldn't be absurd to me if they start training this kind of stuff at medical academy, because you might encounter patients like this.
I imagine the mixed main doctor who is training the little nurses that and if you run across a magical overdose.
You know what? It's a witch doctor.
Yeah, those exist for a reason. But they can definitely look out for the vitals and any other stuff that is literally the outcome of medical overdose. So
You
they
just need
actually
to
helpful.
So yeah, at the hospital, you just need to shake rattles over him and try to steadily drive out the curse. There you go.
I mean, it's not really a curse, it's just overdosing.
Nothing a
We
little bit
can
of-
literally treat it as he drank too much energy juice.
Yep, he got too much of the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
So he needs interpretive dancing to help fix him.
I mean, he probably did some interesting dancing during the show. For the supervillain, as soon as he got out, he would have been thrown in jail for assault, armed robbery, kidnapping, and more. And in this case, kidnapping is actually making sense, because most of them were kids. Or teens. Except for the landlady. And more. He wouldn't see the outside of JSS for years. Raven, meanwhile, continued to blame herself for putting him into harm's way. He's a villain, Raven. He did this to himself. He wouldn't say she particularly liked the man. Indeed, she found his ethics to be annoying at best. And he often put people in danger whenever he lashed out.
You know, any other hunter team could have been in a situation like this too, if it weren't for the training that Batman had insisted upon at the tower, how to hold back from throwing lethal force against potential targets that would nowhere near survive it.
Yep.
Because this is not Remnant, where everyone has auras around here, or at least the aura abilities.
There was one thing that could have saved Momo from becoming this villain. A Fluttershy for him.
Yeah, that'll work.
Just get a girlfriend.
But yeah, anyway, that was an important lesson that Batman gave them back then.
Yeah.
Probably is gonna help.
But we know that Haven is the leader, or not Haven, Robin. The past Robin is the leader here,
Yeah.
who
They're
is
both-
actually not holding back the punches too much anymore.
You're half correct. They're both birds.
What if I fail hurting someone? Perhaps airplane and so I'm too close to one of the ravens in the sphere. You know why she tried so hard? Keep her power in check. Lest she become an instrument for her father. And once again, this has been a theme for every member of the Titans. Oh no, I'm too powerful. What do I do to not be so powerful? Because
You can imagine the opposite scenario being just as frustrating.
yeah. All this and more has to be excited as she promoted the last segment inside the Titan's gym. Truth to be told, the sound of Mumble conversing on the ground made me across something that she had been trying to avoid ever since it happened. She sympathized with Haven to gain the degree. I think they might be actually referring to whatever happened during the brain attack. That we don't know, and that didn't happen in the show. The sound of automatic doors hissing open brought her out of her use of her toes. As she turned around to see the creation, apparently, none of the sound of Bruce Wayne, and thereby, if I was correct, the Batman, wearing a black tank top with a towel taped around the back of his neck. He was holding 2 water bottles, and he told one to Yang, who was included. And then he said, you only caught it because I wanted you to catch it.
Well, I think she's got good reflexes, and he probably had a good toss.
Yeah? Yang really bumped the lid, and then a few groups before stopping the main, and wipe away some of the excess from her mouth. We can clearly say this is before they made those stupid annoying drops of water bottles, but you can't open it, it stays on. I know it's useful, I know it's good for the environment and such, but it is still annoying. Thanks, she said, and ignored. No problem, Yang. The young man continued, moving toward the set of weight, while Yang went back to working on her form. Behind her, he could hear Nick begin his morning routine, but she paid him no heed. Instead, he was worried on what was in front of her, and trying to avoid thinking about what was playing in her mind. What's wrong? Nick suddenly asked, pulling Yang to stop herself, and turned her hand towards him. He saw what that he had a constant expression on his face, and he kept himself firm. I imagine a very stupid scene right here.
Oh yeah? Let's hear it.
She only turned her head, but she was looking the other way. I imagined her like an owl, just wondering if he's turning her head.
By points it says, dude, that's creepy.
Dude, that scared me. Nothing, I'm fine. He planned and prepared to continue her training, but they got to his feet and walked over the mat. They never said that she turned her head back. They're looking away and I can't back to see.
Yeah, punching blindly now.
You know, in my personal experience, telling when someone else is more important to way to get a load. The motion turned to himself, by standing in the middle of the mat. Care to join me? Yeah, you're on the table for a month before showing nonchalantly. Sure, one of the mat when I meet you. Same, they counted, and Yang couldn't help but let out a smile at his cheek. She strolled over to him, and ran into herself, and then Nick offered her. For a moment, the two stared at each other. When the range was settled, which leg they were leaning on, where their eyes covered. Everything that is possibly used to gain an advantage. Finally, the two rushed at each other. Yang started with a quick jab towards Nick's face, one that he fired and responded to with his own. Yang
That's a
started.
dick.
He's punching left at the female. He doesn't even have a weapon and Yang shall lean back to allow the sleepy face to swing just past the tip of her nose. He followed up by throwing out her elbow, when Nick caught her and then used her momentum to throw her over the shoulder and onto the ground. That scene kind of reminds me of the other crossover, where Yang did the same to the Pokemon. Oof! Yang got it before spinning back to her feet. They watched her with a confident smile, extending his arm towards her, and flashed his fingers in a bring it gesture.
Hold on. I want to ask you a quick question. Regarding the other fanfic you're just talking about, how did you first get introduced to that? Did you discover it yourself or someone else?
I think that was also requested, and at one point probably after this whole thing, which is gonna be a long while later,
Yeah.
I'm gonna continue that as well.
Okay.
So I imagine Nick being like,
Right. Come on, bruh. You got rid of your mark there. Bring a gesture in the middle of that paragraph. Toward the top two lines of the paragraph below that is where you left off.
yeah, I was searching for the bring it. That is okay. I knew it. I was there. I don't know where it was. They found before moving forward, letting herself into a state of punching and yet the negation danced around. You could countered with his own light attacks. They were growing more and more frustrated, and her eyes turned red as she passed with her sword. I think the only thing I'm missing from this side, the ability to bookmark.
Yeah.
When he overextended on one of his yells, I see the opportunity to latch onto his arm and hold him in place. He then pushed him in the yard, causing him to double over. He followed up with a quick uppercut that knocked him in the air, but before he landed, he used himself so that he did so with a roll. Landing on his feet, he lunged forward and punched Yang squarely in the face, throwing her back flatly. Before she could retaliate, he crouched and slammed his leg on the earth, throwing Yang off balance and onto her back. Nick leaned towards her. I almost presented and quickly leaped towards her. I mean, that makes sense as well. Pinning her on and pinning her. Yang tried to get her free before sighing and tapping her foot on the ground. Nick immediately let go and tapped her to her feet. Thanks for the workout, Yang said. You and I both know that if I wanted to, I could have easily beaten you. Keep telling yourself that maybe one day it will be true. Heh, I like you, man. Get everything. The two shared a hearty laugh. After the laughter died down, Yang shook her hand and made her way over to the door. Well, I better get out of here. Today is my turn to make breakfast, and... Yang, wait! They called out, forcing Yang into the text. Her back was turned to him, but even then, she could feel the concerned look he was giving her. She sighed and closed her eyes. Nick, I'm fine. Really? They calmed education. I was raised by the wolves. The words get the narrative. What's real, that is almost true. One of the many things he taught me was how to raise a person. Right now, you are upset. He said that to Yang, who has glowing hair and a red eye at the moment. No shit, Sherlock. Just as you mean for the past few days. I'm not. Yeah, possessing. On the other side, I think you listen, I know you're trying to harm, but it's complicated. Well, luckily for us both, I like complicated. They sat down on the bench and looked at Yang expectantly. Part of her wanted nothing more than simply walk away. But she knew that it wouldn't solve anything. How she was feeling was burning a hole in her gut, and it was better to get it out of the way before it festered. Taking herself, she walked over and pulled another wedge in one of these. They sat down across from him. The two heroes stared at each other for a moment, patiently waiting for Yang to start. It is gonna be funny when my mother comes home, because she doesn't talk a lot of English, but she knows what this means. And I say...
Oh, you mean his name?
Yeah, and I say his name a lot of times.
Well, you could either joke with her or give her a serious answer. And there is one.
You know the basics of how we got here, right? Just do that. And they tell me knowledge. Yeah, let me know when you guys settle in. For what it's worth, I'm sorry. I lost people about nothing like what you guys have been through. Thank you, Yang said, and drawing her hands together. I have seen that word, but not in past. In past tense, I think?
Yeah, to wring your hands means to do it now.
Yeah, I saw that one. That's why I was confused a little bit. Looking at them intensely. A maniac took away from us, intending to turn her into another of his piercing experiments for a good long while. For a good long while, I saw all they had. My mind was focused entirely on getting my sister back, and damn the consequences. Yang, no one's forcing you for wanting to do that. It's clarified. Yang was suffering from some form of survival yet. I mean, she really is. Hell, you guys did rescue your sister, and none of you would be here if you hadn't. Yeah, but he might have lived if I had been a little bit calmer. He?
Continue the paragraph, maybe it'll help remind you.
Yeah, I'm confused of who he is talking about it.
My theory is a helicopter pilot or something like that.
Probably, yes. Seeing confused expression, Yang continued. Right after having a capture, Amura sent to advocate us because finally arrived. Yeah, it is. Instead of going back, Yang took a deep breath and took her hand. Standing on the floor. Instead of going back, I forced the pilot into taking us into May's mothership. Just on the off chance we would get her back. Hey, Yang, you saw what Mayday did to Ramdan. No matter what you did, he would have died. Or would have been captured at least. Into a little more. You forced him? I said that if he didn't fly us in, I would have tied him up, thrown him in the bag, and thrown us in myself. In the end, he agreed to do it. Which forced I would head into Catholic Blood G. If he were blowing up at the hole for us. And Yang said no. And they immediately understood what happened. From what Yang was describing, 9 people wanted to Maniac's ship, but only 8 made it out. Did we ever see him being dead? I don't think we did.
I kind of recall that very shortly after arrival into the ship.
Seeing this other question, yeah, nothing. He died in the crash. There you go.
Mhm.
So we didn't see his body transformation, probably. We didn't have time to mourn him, and we just left his body there. The worst part is that I don't even know his name, and yet, he died because of me. Not because of you. Once again, if you want to blame someone, blame the villain. The same is true for Raven. Don't blame yourself for being powerful and using your best attack because that's what you had to use. Blame Momo for not being able to talk to.
Do you think that would be easy to say or really feel if you were actually in that situation?
No,
A person.
that's not
Yeah.
how it works. And
Yeah.
I know it's not how it works. It's easy to say that it's not your fault, but that's not how people's feelings work.
Hard to feel it's not your fault. Yeah. So what is the solution for emotional burden?
There is no solution.
Hmm.
No, there is one solution. Going to a psychiatrist. Just get some psychotherapy. That is the best you can do at this moment.
There's probably other ways too, but that's a good suggestion. That could probably help too.
I mean, there is one other thing that you can do. I mean, if you have the power to do it, which is gonna be something I have shown before.
Psychic surgery.
Kind of.
How about brainwashing? There you go.
Almost.
Sounds like that.
Almost.
Oh. Okay.
Almost.
Almost hit the bullseye there. What you got?
This is the solution. If you really get married.
Gotta think then, if other people had done it before, you gotta worry about what is in that pod.
Yeah?
Not just top secrets, but scary secrets too. Traumatizing secrets could be in there too.
Yeah, but this is a lost this effort if nothing else works.
Hmm.
And I don't think that anyone is capable here of doing that. And seeing Momo conversing reminded you of him. This guy. He's so one I couldn't say no angry. He's simply concerned for the well-being of his friend. Until the moment, yeah, I know it. Ah, that's why I didn't know who she was meaning. Yeah, she responds. I know that it's irrational. I didn't kill him, maybe I did, or I put him in the situation. Because I can't hide him into rescue attempt. I could have offered to drop him off somewhere safe and throw us in, or else just throw him out of the moonhead. And I was steal it out from under him, he would have been able to get to safety in Beacon. But no, I had to have him as a pilot, and he died because of it. But wouldn't that mean if you were piloting the ship, you would have died young? I'm pretty sure that the pilot had an aura as well.
That would likely be the case with everyone else in the bullhead as well.
Yeah. You cannot change the past. What happened happened. They just have internet to Yang Summers, nodding along with her voice. Yang, I have a question. Sure? Yang replied. Did he know how to fly? Yes, and I said, as you could. No, but I could try. No, but I played many video games and I should probably be able to fly if I wanted to. No, if I tried to fly we probably would have died almost immediately. There's your answer. Like Nick Hobbs. And if he said no, what would you have done? Would you have actually tied him up? Like you said? Yes, you could. Look up at him with blue eyes. No, not really. And most, I would have just told him out of movement and tried to fire or try tying. I would say maybe Rice would be able to fly. But they have their own pilot as well, so who knows?
At this moment, Dick's not thinking that. He wouldn't know that information.
Yeah? Right? And how did the pilot act after he agreed that you guys did? Yeah, look at him. Professor, please seeing the mission too, despite the irregular chance of death. A moment of the soldier, really, didn't complain, or argued on our behalf. The whole 9 yards.
That's more than 8 yards.
Yeah? Listen again. They smiled at Yang. Yang, I can assure you it was not your fault that he died. I might not have met the man, but from what you described, I don't think the man first doing something he didn't want to do. I've seen the man who lived in yours and your friend's convictions so much that he was willing to sacrifice himself. Perhaps you see it too, but just it might save the day. And it kind of did, if you think about it. Because the 8 of you survived, and you took the mother box from him. Which might have been his main traveling equipment. Oh my god. I just realized, if the mother box was internally taking Ruby and the others to Earth, then it only means that Earth was next on his list. He wanted to come here. The coordinates were all the chat. After I finished off with them then.
Yeah, he'll come at least for the box, but as far as the Earth's concerned, if it fits the criteria that Brainiac was hunting for, by the standards of the last mission, it would be any society he considers on the brink of extinction. And also interesting to study, intellectually.
I mean, yeah, we know that humans are idiots and they are destroying their own planet.
Brainiac would ignore a planet that's unstable and blows itself up, and it had no civilization on it whatsoever.
But in this universe, we not only have humans who are stupid, they might die in this war, but there are a lot of aliens on this planet now. Which might actually work.
The way this story is written, and maybe it's actual canon to the Brainiac, because I don't know him in what detail, but it sounds like his main objective is preservation of knowledge.
Yeah?
And do that in a coldly logical way. Not cruel, but just uncaring.
I mean, yeah. Or I want him to find it from a crash. Wouldn't? It depends on how big the damage is. And where he got hit. So it might have saved him, but as we saw he died, and I said I'm pretty sure he had over. So yeah, you are right.
He's nowhere near like the Joker might be laughing at the mayhem.
No. Yeah, and look where the sacrifice others. Out of a path of nearby million people. Only 8 managed to escape. And all of that is either dead or captured in the freaking motors. True, that is one way to look at it. But that's not how I see it. It is God with absolute conviction. On the end, him other convinced. Deep down, she knew it was irrational, but she couldn't tell but feel regret all the same. Nick stared at her for a moment before rising to his feet. Nick saw this and looked at him in confusion, and when Nick extended his arm to wrap her up, he gave her to it. Here, I want to show you something, he said. He walked away to the north, Nick following him. They walked down the stairs and into the vehicle bay, but Nick immediately made his way towards the large jet. Throwing his hand on it, Nick began to explain. This here is the seaplane. Automated, I know, but it's a team, right? The car, the cycle, the plane, the sub, the plane. And I hear, we're coming home.
Maybe they have a teen tea as well. If you drink some tea, it will be TT.
TT. Hi. I am the soul on my nose. Hi.
That is the most adorable kind of assault.
And none of is here as well. She said from here. Yeah, listen. And Nick flashed a thumbs up. That's why. Exactly, but I think keep the naming convention now. Anyway, we made this puppy a few years ago. Always work on updating it whenever I can. It's one of the most advanced atmospheric flyers on the planet.
Hold on. I do see one problem with the naming convention. What if they get a second plane? What are they going to call it? T2 plane, maybe? Like Terminator 2?
Or it could be T-10 or T-aircraft.
Yeah. You gotta start getting a little creative if they have any redundancy here.
Huh. The aircraft is passing the aircraft. Calling her hand along its three, white and blue finish. By this, he pressed a button on the watch and opened the front canopy to the aircraft. I mean, Batman had multiple Batmobiles, and he just called them Batmobile.
Sure, he has his own convention.
Yeah, looked at him for a moment, and seeing how he was gesturing towards the palm scene, then topped his side, and made himself comfortable. Ran to the controls, and their eyes scanned the many systems that made up the display.
I saw a commercial on YouTube that was an entire episode of a series, and in fact it was the pilot of it, where it had a ridiculous concept of the vehicles of the superheroes become the heroes themselves through AI.
Isn't that just Super Sentai? Or Power Rangers?
A little bit, I guess. Yeah. I don't remember the name of that, but that was an interesting concept.
Yeah? How fast can this girl go? Yes, and then jump to rest near her. Might see easily. Right now, we're just working on getting exo capable. You want her to fly into space? Yeah, there was no one you need when the need feel alright. I mean, we know when the need feel alright when it arrives.
Yeah. In their world, it could come up. I do not blame Victor for this.
Yeah. Plus, he likes the challenge. Yeah, I met Checkers. He's waiting with her. And went back to checking the instrument and seeing this. He smiled once again. You know, he began, let me show me a flight simulator lying around somewhere. Good. You didn't tell her to try it out. I wouldn't have put it past him, by the way. I brought you here. Show me if you could fly in an emergency. Yeah, curious, don't turn attention towards him entirely. If you want, I think we can bring it down here and let you have a go at it. Why do you have to bring it down here? Can Yang not go up?
He likes a challenge, maybe.
Yang looked at him for a moment, then looked at the cockpit she was running in. The thoughts traveled back to watch the sun at the combination. And at once, he understood where the was coming from. Slowly, he found a smile from on her face, and he turned to face Dick once again. There is one problem though. There is one big problem. Even if Yang is able to fly later on, I'm pretty sure that the cyborg is not really gonna let you use the seaplane or any of the sea items without his supervision.
It's good to be ready.
If I do anything,
Yes? What if Victor's not available for some reason? It could happen where it comes down to her. But I think the situation's more than just that. He's attempting to prepare her to counter a threat that basically she was guilty for. She got this pilot to go on the suicide mission, or it's something that killed him, and she wasn't able to fly back then. If that happens again, now she'll be ready next time.
yeah,
And I think that's what this is really about. I actually expected Dick to be clever here in this encounter.
before I do anything, I'm going to need a pair of aviators. Of course you do.
And there needs to be a theme song after I wear it, playing in the background.
You mean something like this. We cannot sing that is haven't prepared it, I know sadly.
Well, you did what you could.
Even I know that was the reactor I carried, that song was that part was actually muted on one part. That can be arranged, Golden Dragon. That can be arranged. Okay, let's see how far we are.
That will do, pig. That will do.
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
go
it's
one
not-
more. And then in the
Yeah,
short
it's
one.
not that far to the next scene, Rick.
When the young and Nick finally came back upstairs, joined the others, the living room and the kitchen, they were getting by the side of both of them were honestly expecting to have come by now. Look, I know how it looks, Mike began, but the image of Batman stands down from the title monitor with an amused expression. What part of the giving you low profile did it able to go set fit into? He asked. Yang could practically hear the eyebrow raise behind his cowl. And White blushed slightly. We were saying herself. Good, so Batman heard about the process.
You know what? What if after this conversation, for all of his bluster here, he does download her song, and plays in the Batmobile with no facial reaction, but he's still enjoying it.
For all we know, he might actually have apples in at the moment at the same place.
That's possible, yeah.
My memory goes down about getting my friend and the other 50, he explained. I couldn't take a fight without the other person getting caught in the crossfire. And the previous engagement with Mumbo convinced me that the front I thought wouldn't have worked anyway. Knowing what I knew about him, I felt that the decision was in order to get everyone to safety. By singing, knowing that he will challenge you right back. Yes, but it's not also to react to quickly separate and occur, alongside with the others. What's the big deal anyway? Girlfriend asked from the spot on the sofa. I mean, you must have known that when they're coming here, then they will join us on mission. We were about to find out. What? That one of them can sing? I know. I would have preferred Teams Ruby and Juniper's formal interaction to have to be a more controlled environment, and not a wider YouTube video. Ah.
So, remember what I was saying about him downloading the song? He just said here he has easy access to it.
And he has definitely seen it.
Hmm.
You know what this means? Someone from the audience stayed behind, just to record the whole thing.
Also, it means she has quality singing. Well, and it's something else too, because Mumbo was there as well, and people are going to be aware that was a dangerous situation she's singing in. I mean, I can imagine for that reason alone, if this really happened, and people were aware villains like that existed, yes, the video would be viral, but I still think it's because of the quality that she offered as well.
I think you don't have to have a great singing voice to go viral. If Batman went into a shower with full suit and everything, not even taking it off, and someone without him singing in the shower,
a version of that song actually is online, right?
What?
A version of the song she sang actually is online, right?
It was, but I don't know if all of them is anymore because recently it has closed down.
Well,
and they deleted most of them without.
It's probably decently viral at the time, so it's kind of proving that it could happen.
Yeah. Yeah, I found that Batman didn't have a point there. Apparently, among the audience was even not only keep it or phone on them, but the automatic thing we know of his entire performance. In just 3 days, it had 5 million views, and it was climbing rapidly. Also, Vice was proud of that, but she didn't say anything of the sort. However, that's what's done is done. The least only issued the statement with the title. We are going back to what's done is done. That was the whole conversation last time as well, with Yang.
So far, that should have been the name of the chapter.
Yeah? He said that, confirming they had eaten not so. None of them needed to be reminded of that. After all, they had linked to catch it. Right? Imagine that the Batman was simply getting it on the record. And I worry that my voice got into a format he has in building. And the nation snapped back to the Dark Knight. Whereas his expression was doing, now it appears to be slightly proud. You did good work. Thanks to your quick thinking, you, Lightwing, and Haven were able to salvage the situation. And could have resulted in a lot more casualties as well as the rescued others.
You know what? I expected this from Batman. To do both. To be a hard ass and also to compliment where she deserves it.
Yeah, he is a hearted mentor who doesn't want, he still gives out some compliments after showing what's wrong with what they need.
Yeah. He's gonna tell you what you did wrong, but he'll also tell you what you did right.
Yeah. This is why people like, you have to do negative ways, Batman. No, you have to do positive. No, Actually, you have to do most to be perfectly fine.
Right.
Why smarter than that? Not. Thank you. But Madeline back. Then he turned his attention back toward Nick. In the most softer voice, yet. How is he? He is getting better. Nick answered, knowing evidently who his father was referring to. Well, in her room, trying to help her out, but you know how sensitive she is about herself. I imagine some different thing again.
What, pillow fights?
No,
That wouldn't be a great character for Raven.
it's that I just turned into a news, but now matter. And it's funny how it is fitting because they were literally turned into animals and they are matter. Raven is so young that she thinks she is. She is born too. I mean, that is her problem right now that she is too tall. We know, for a plan. Mr. Batman, if I may, is there any form from Travis Hero? From tone of her voice, the Samaritan process was clearly worried about Luna, hoping that her friend was alright. Then I sent us a message the other day, he answered. They managed to confirm that the perpetrator was not from either Molaming Null or Travis Hero. However, whoever she was, she's long gone now. The traitor.
Yep.
Who is supposed to be in the Amazon as well. Do we have any ideas where she might have come from? We could. Leaning across the counter and resting on his arm.
You know, this thing is established that Raven and Megan is, so far, is the only one we know is not in this room.
Yeah?
There might be others who are not there, but it looks like it's everyone so far. Like a bunch of the Ruby team has not spoken up yet.
They might not be here for all we know.
Actually, I should say Remnantians, since there is actually two teams.
Yeah? Nothing to recruit him. Maybe looking, but they managed to hide their attacks well. They found his past lead in countries all around the world, from North Korea, China, Iran, and many more. And we know that they had help from others. Damn! So much for a great solution, they got it. In any case, I continued, we put it up in expecting to let Diana and Lola leave the island in the next few days. Is there anything else to report? Your city has been in crime wave ever since Momo on a scale we haven't seen in years. And we know who is responsible for that. Because Mother Blood literally said, okay, go out and make a mess.
Actually, that statement does surprise me, because all the Titans are here doing nothing about it so far.
Yeah?
I think he's referring to minor crimes, but a lot of it.
Indeed. Nick pointed out, and everyone let out the entire side. No, that's why they are not here, because some of them are out there probably facing them. Indeed, the alarm had been playing non-stop ever since Mumbo's latest episode. Authors, brothers, what's the situation and more were constantly popping up. I wouldn't say they are minor, also murder hostage situation. I thought it was just thievery and robbery.
I guess I could see this in a different kind of scale. The crime itself would be pretty severe, but probably not super powered.
Maybe?
Way. The kinds of crimes that cops really could handle. Except for perhaps the sheer frequency of it. If there is like millions of crimes going on in the city all at once, there may not be that many cops to match it.
I mean, there is not many cops to begin with. Yeah, that's because they already have superheroes. and they are paying.
I'd still think in a world like that, you would need the cops, but the
Yeah,
superheroes too. It depends on the scale of the threat.
and also if they have superpowers or not. I mean the villains.
Yeah, definitely.
It was not only causing the hero to feel exhausted, but it was also starting to raise the stress level of the city. Also everyone, it was feeling it the worst. And then Ambot, he would feel everyone's emotions, successful emotions like fear, and then anger got turned to worse.
Okay, that's the reason. And yeah, it further points out who probably is the culprit. You know what? That was worth reporting to Batman when he asked.
Yeah? I probably already knew this, but this had to come from your mouth. There is more! Everyone turned to see Haven walking into the room, while walking in behind her. The girl, as they sadly expected, showed signs of threat, but at the same time, was pushing it to the side. There is something here, something dark and twisted. I felt it felt wrong in so many ways. What do you mean? And then, the nation was a full sentence of the half demon. Others were following as well. This was the first time they were hearing of this, and with the attention help, they will continue. I started noticing it a few hours ago. It's faint, but almost non-existent. I was noticing it because it seemed to get more agitated, and the increased stress of the system. Almost as soon as it appeared as though something massive and hidden from me. I can't find it again, but I know it's here. They are slowly raising up the claim. I mean, we assumed that was a claim that Mother Blood was actually using the Master Ray for capture.
Yeah, something else we recently established Brother Blood is detained.
Everyone paused until everyone's work sink in. It set a wall forwarding descended over everyone. The silence was only broken by an awkward cough from Rumi, who now we know is here. Well, no applause. That's not disturbing or anything. And they have heard these words before. Not the masking part, but the getting more agitated as the increased stress of the system. Because that is definitely a reclaim them. Or multiple of them. What do you think it is? You asked calmly. Could it be a demon? Possibly, but I don't know. I never said something like this. And finally, it worries me. Even that one. The voice remained sorry, but everyone couldn't help but feel unloved at her report. But we wondered what her friend could have said. They had known that my existence on Earth for quite some time. Joe's and Pierre's little experience with Diana and Lasso was testament to that. But her experience in that area remained limited. And Madame, here is some. Keep looking, and tell us what you find. In the meantime, I'm working on narrowing down the list of suspects behind the case attack on your hand. It's turning out to be more complex than I anticipated, and I was interrupted by the alarm blaring once again, pulling the young hero to ground. Without saying another word, I'm melody than them, then disconnected. Wait, he wasn't there?
No, he hung up on purpose.
No, I mean, Batman was not there. He was just on the phone.
Oh, you didn't know that? Yeah, he was talking to them the whole time on some giant screen.
Ah!
He probably sounded loud too.
For me, I thought that he was actually there.
Scroll up and see if you can find that when the Batman was first talking. It's somewhere near that paragraph. It described how he was talking to them. It'll be in italic. For everything that's italic, he was speaking. So where was the beginning of that?
Sure. Thank you. Like I saw him.
Okay.
Sorry.
Alright, the second paragraph from the start of the scene break. Look on how it looks, waste began, but the image of Batman stared down at her from the Titan's monitor with an unamused expression.
Oh. I would have put it past him that he was literally standing on the monitor.
Okay.
You know that's because Batman and like this, the gargoyle says. But as I think about that would be more like Spider-Man, not Batman.
First I was thinking that he could have been communicating from Justice League Tower, but actually it's a lot more likely he's doing this from Gotham.
Yeah.
Because he's still doing the investigation on the Earth.
I mean, he says he is doing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, now it makes sense. The thing in the world, Batman doesn't, and the next collected. Getting them time to run into their homes and change into their uniforms. I'm getting reports from all over the city. Some are reported while everyone piled into the elevator. So Yang never made breakfast. Always keeps ahead. And probably, I think they probably skipped ahead. Leave Sky was on his face.
You know what? If you're right, if there is a big time skip here between the last scene and this one, I think I would have made a different chapter at this point.
It's not a big time skip, it had been days.
But that still could be enough. The subject matter shifted enough to warrant its own chapter.
Or it could be not just a big bang, it could be like afternoon. And nothing was happening in the morning.
There was no hint of the stress of the city and all that busy activity during the conversation between Yang and Dick. I had no idea this was happening until this scene here.
But yeah. We don't know when things happen.
Go ahead.
Leaf's car was on his face as he poured over a whole projection from an arm. To this one, several hand smashes were splashed all around all corners of the city. John, Nightwing, and Ruby all looked at the map intently. After a moment, the three leaders faced each other. For a moment, they turned back to the others. And then saw the three of them had some unspoken conversation, and all the team leaders could know. And a moment later, they proved that the deception to be correct. We are going to split into 3 teams. That makes sense. I will take the Titans up north. Team Ruby will go east side while Team Juniper will go west. Maintain constant daily contact. So you are not splitting the party into multiple parties. Which might be a good idea or a bad idea.
They kind of have to do it. The threats are in multiple locations. If they all concentrate on one spot, they'll probably well solve it, and everything else gets even further out of hand.
No, I mean the team matchup.
Okay. Well, it's a team dynamic that the teams themselves would be familiar with, so they would know how to cooperate with each other better.
Yeah, I would probably say that it would be better to have at least one Titan with each team.
Because they're more familiar with the city?
Yeah?
Yeah. I guess, but this whole time the Hunters teams have been studying the city some. I don't think they're totally unprepared, but your advice is probably sound. Besides that, I think the Titans team, broken up this way, would be way higher population than the others. There are just 4 members of each other team, right?
Yeah? No?
You probably have a good point. At least one Titan probably should have gone with the other two.
But on the other side, it makes sense because they can work together much. They are made together.
Oh yeah.
And to your thing that, yeah, they have been here for a while and they have been solving cases left and right. So they might actually know that it is a bit more.
Now, that's going to break up their transportation methods too. Let's see what they do with that.
Because then, the other side. To the third level, the doors open. They will pass into the car. And they find into the city begins preparing for what they all knew was going to be a very lonely. So they go on foot.
Actually, it said everyone piled into the T-car.
Yeah, they went into the city
Yeah,
with
so
the
far they're
car.
going the same. Yeah, so far they're going the same direction, but I guess they have to. There's like only one bridge leading out of the island. They might split from there though. Except I think there is a boat in the Teen Tower, or flying vehicle too would have also worked.
But, as I said, Simon would let them drive. By the way, dude, how did you do that? Miss Moyet. I think Sean and we all look at each other for one, then try knowingly. It's a little thing. I knew it! You mean this thing? Oh, that's not the name of this. Oh no, I found it. I won't find that team, but everyone knew the stupid thing in the Avengers when they were like, yes, how do you know? When they didn't even have headsets in. I would say that's almost the same that happened here. And also, that means I'm gonna be here. I know there's gonna be shorter parts, but we are ending here. Okay. And we are continuing today.
How long's the video so far?
It has been a little bit more than 1 hour.
We tend to average a couple hours when we're both on. But
yeah. But then it is very hot and my throat is even worse thanks to the community. So I don't really wanna risk overdoing it and then not being able to do it the next day over.
Sure. Thank you for the reading.
Thank you for being here and see you all in today. Bye bye. And now we have the face intro scene, which I have to fix in YouTube as well.